Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of NDB Media's Monday Night in America here on the NDB Media Network. I can't believe I did that. It's a holiday Monday. I do apologize. Ladies and gentlemen, this is great. October 10th, 2022. We're going to have a ball already, and it's looking to be, well, I know we are. Hopefully we're able to keep Wes on with us for a while, but all kidding aside, you know who I am. You know who he is. That's Michael. And our guest on his holiday, not personal holiday, but a family and national holiday, Wes Mack. Good evening, Wes. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show. Happy, Canadian Thanksgiving to you guys from me here in the Great White North.
It means a great deal to get that from you. I did not even know it was that day today. As I said, it's a holiday down here. We're I'm not going to go into it, folks.
It's a lot to keep track of. It's a lot to keep track of, especially when you throw in other countries' versions of it. You know, where it's you can only keep so much in the all.
You are right, and I thank you, Wes. You covered up for what I didn't even pay attention to. Folks, I admit it. I have my day timer, and it's been staring me in the face. Today, Columbus Day. No comments. Don't want to hear it. And then, of course, it's Thanksgiving Day, Canadian. And the Daytimer is wonderful. I'm giving a shout-out to Daytimer, go figure, because they have the North American holidays. Well, the three major countries. You know, the ones that are full of themselves. But That's a political statement. We're not going to go there.
We'll save that for interview 3.
Wow.
Yeah, we're really laying track here.
Wow. We had a second commitment. Now we have a third. Don't worry, Wes. We're not going to hold you to it, but we would be thrilled to have you back on the talk.
Well, you say that now, but I mean, you haven't talked to me yet here, so you might by the end be like, oh, Jesus, we're stuck
You're a humble
3
soul.
Of these things now.
You are a humble soul, and let me tell you something. I know that you're humble, and I know that you're real, because you actually posted the interview in advance. No shot against anyone else, folks, but all I can say is that it means a great deal, and I was genuinely surprised. I was loafing, and I was taking a look at my phone, and I got the thing. I've been tagged by someone.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Who's this guy?
Oh, crap! Oh, my God! I saw who it was. That was my genuine reaction. I'm like, wow! And I immediately posted it to ours as well. So it was great. I thank you for tagging, and there's actually been quite a few people that have actually liked that one, so I thank you for that. But I know Mike has an intro for you, but just knowing, dude, you do a lot, all right? And it is really cool. I'm not sure what you consider yourself more as. Well, you might consider yourself a jack of all trades. I don't know.
Yeah.
And actually, that works in this line, right? Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
It actually would. You're a musician, an actor, a director, and a real life human being, which is a great deal. And
that's the hardest one
for the NDB Media Network, man. You said yes.
I know. It was a lot of blackmail behind it. I mean, you guys found all the right stuff on the internet there, did you?
Well, let me tell you, there
you don't get a 3-interview deal without the right amount of blackmail.
Well, some of that might show up in a little bit, but it is absolutely awesome. Dude, this is cool, man. I'm glad. I'm glad that we're already laughing it up right now. This is really cool. And just going over some of the stuff, you've got quite a few credits to you. You've done some. Oh, you were involved in Power Rangers?
Yeah, man. I bully the black autistic Power Ranger. So they really just teed me up to be a popular guy on that one.
Wow.
Like, oh yeah, that's gonna go well on the internet. People will enjoy that guy.
Things at you.
Yeah, I mean, kidding aside on that, I was a huge Power Rangers fan growing up, so it was like it was very cool. Like at one point, we were shooting some second unit stuff, and there were a couple of folks there who like were either younger or like just didn't watch Power Rangers growing up, and the director on that part was talking about how the Zords were going to be flying over, or one of the Zords was going to fly over, and somebody asked like, "What's a Zord?" And I was just like, I had to like contain my like desire to really get into it, to just be like, let me take you through this. There are 5 of them, each of them is accessed by the power coin. You got to, and then I was like, nope, we're just going to be a professional here and try and hold it together. I like the Power Rangers a lot, so it was very fun.
That is cool. Well, I have something. On Saturday here in Southern California, there's this. It's not a Comic-Con event. It's available in, I think it's the City of Industry, not far from Twin Pines Mall. It's in Puente Hills, around there, where Back to the Future took place. It's called Frankenstein. So I am giving them some play. It's a huge cosplay, collectible, everything there.
Oh, neat.
And my daughter and I went there this Saturday to get away for a little bit, and we met a property master there, and he had one of the original Power Ranger props.
Really?
Yes, and
do you know what prop?
Yes, it was one of the hero props. He was a property master, and I have his business card.
Like when you say,
oh my God.
You have to stand up. Is it going to happen, or we get?
He's yeah.
You got to stand up. Oh, we only made it about 4 minutes into this interview of the no need to stand up. This is great.
Okay, this is blackmail in reverse now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I knew. I knew if I brought up the Rangers and we knew the wallet, you know. Just stand up. It's no big deal.
Rangers. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, anyway, he is going to be joining us. I met him on Saturday. He was a really good guy, and he had quite a few Sarah Chronicle items, and he had quite a few items dating way back. It was obvious he was a property master, and he was talking to me at first, and then I coyly threw it in. Not that I had any blackmail on him, but said, "Hey, do you like doing interviews?" I was like, "Yeah." Ta-da! Well.
Boom.
Okay, here's the embarrassing thing. The ta-da was my daughter. Oh, that was a Freudian. That was my daughter. Here's the embarrassing thing. He reached in, gave me a business card, and I went for the aforementioned wallet. Oh, damn.
No luck,
my
no luck
daughter's
that
like,
time, too.
You're like, you don't have your business card? I'm like, no! But my daughter had my business card.
She's got you covered. That's good. That's family for you there.
Yes, so it didn't matter whether I actually had the shorts on, the pants on, or even had the wallet. My daughter covered for me. But it's not about me, Wes. I just thought it was kind of cool. I wanted to share that with you.
No, I think that's very cool. I'm very curious what the specific prop is. If it's like a power sword, or if it's one of the like blaster. Okay,
it was the
blaster. One of the like guns
yes.
that like turns into the little like short dagger type thing.
Yeah, it was the blaster. It was so awesome, and he had it out front. I clearly saw it, and it was obviously for sale. That's and he is going to join us. I mentioned I was going to contact him on Monday.
Which Monday?
Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Anyway, it's not about me. It's not about me being an idiot. It's a holiday weekend. And I will tell you about it, Wes. And you never know. Maybe, one of the blackmail ones, maybe you could come and join us for that interview.
Hey, I'd just be asking him questions about making Power Rangers from.
Oh, hell yeah. And he really had quite a bit of stuff. And it was really cool. I spent a few minutes with him. That was on Saturday because it was a holiday weekend for us. But, wow, you've got quite a bit of stuff on your filmography. But all kidding aside, I believe when I was getting my cup of joe, you guys were talking about some of the projects you were working on. But before we get into any of that, is the movie making or being part of the movie making your first love, or is it the music?
I really like both, and I feel like the only thing you ever have to really do is just like, try and deal with scheduling issues between them. But like I get a lot of joy out of doing both of those things. To me, they're like kind of just different slices of different sides of the same coin. It's being creative. I always kind of try and explain it though. Like I think being an artist, like a musician kind of thing, is closer to like making the whole movie, whereas like being an actor is closer to like being a hired gun musician, like someone who would come in and play in the studio or on a tour. Like as an actor, my job is to show up and do my little slice of what's involved in me being in it. And then it's not really my job beyond that to like bring the whole thing to life. I'm just supposed to do my little bit. And that's like, if you're a hired gun musician, you get brought in the studio, you play guitar for 2 hours. It's not your job to like go and put out the album or finish the whole thing. So it's a little more like zeroed in acting and a little broader in music, where you're like, creating the songs and you are the face of it and the brand and all that. And so I like both because you get to do two kind of different things. It gives you a little bit of variety.
Wow, yeah. Wes, I appreciate that answer. That is some really cool insight. not only do you create the music, but I imagine on the other side as well, and the I guess the movie making side, which I'm considering television and everything.
Sure.
You still get to do some of that as well, both as a director as well as a performer.
Yeah, totally. And that's when I'm directing, that's me putting on that broader hat. And there's like ups and downs to each of those things. What I love about acting is how zoomed in it is of just doing this little creative thing, like and that it isn't, your job to go beyond that, but maybe you have a little less control there. You're a little more at the whims of like just how projects are coming your way or something like that. Whereas when you're doing music or directing, well, music particularly is an interesting one. When you're directing, the project changes from piece to piece, but with music, if it's me, I'm stuck with me. I am the product somewhere along the lines, right? And so it's one of those things that, like, I sing like I sing and I write like I write. So it's nice to have the variety in acting to slip into a bunch of different skins, and then it's rad with music to be able to like tell whatever stories I want to tell. And I guess same with directing.
Oh, that is good stuff.
Yeah,
before I start handing it off to Michael real quick, I'm over on your Facebook page, but would you tell everyone? Well, it's on the ticker. So, there's the website right there. It is wesmackmusic.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, folks, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, but if you want to purchase some of his music, we want to go there. We should have asked you in advance if we were going to play some music, but if we do and did, it would only be just a few portions.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we don't want to, take away.
No, you're welcome to spin whatever you want. Go for it.
But we're going to have some specific questions about some of the stuff you've done. But again, I'm on the webpage right now, folks, just so you can have a quick little, I say this professionally, a quick little tease. This is the website. You know what? I got him to smile on that one. I'm all right, man. Here it is right there. And
you're on my Facebook page, yeah.
Some really good stuff, folks. And there's our link right there. Wow, there's our tiny claim to fame, which is really cool. And I liked it. Yes, that's from our sports program. That's when I liked it. So that's actually rather Latin. So if I do say that from time to time, you have to forgive me. I've outgrown that, but I'm going to head on over to the webpage in just a few moments. But Michael, why don't you go ahead, because I want to set that up as well, because I was too busy getting my cup of Joe.
Did I read that you do? And I think you're directing also. Is it music videos or the production of other people's music? I wasn't sure what you were directing.
Largely music videos is what I've done a lot of directing of. I kind of got into that. I got into that because when you start your music career, you don't have a budget to hire anyone to do that. So literally when I was, like 21 or something, I got a camera, and I remember I went to the UBC bookstore and I bought the 4th year film textbook. I wasn't in the film program. I bought their like final year film textbook, and I read it cover to cover over the course of the summer, and just like tried to absorb as much as I could. And at that time I was starting to book some acting gigs, and early on I would usually go and find the cinematographer, and I would ask as politely as I could, like, hey, I will stay as out of your way as possible. I will ask no questions, but like, do you mind if I kind of shadow you? Like basically when I wasn't filming, rather than sitting in my trailer, I was like, do you mind if I hang around and just kind of watch what you guys are up to? And every single one was stoked about it. They're like, oh yeah, like cool, like this is what this is.
That's good.
I just figured, I was like, I can kind of pick up like a free film education doing this, being able to watch. I got to be in some pretty high level sets early. I remember being on Smallville. Sorry, the wind's kicked up a bunch here, and something's just slamming against the window here.
Really?
Yeah, holy smokes. I mean, there's no visual for you guys on this, but I've almost never seen the wind this hard here. Hopefully nothing bad comes of that.
Hopefully not, no.
If you hear a shattering sound, it's a problem.
Wow, that's crazy. That was loud.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Anyways, film education.
You were mentioning that you had a chance to visit some real nice sets.
Yeah, so like when I was working on Smallville, it was just like, they were doing big production stuff that, like, obviously when I got into directing early on, I was doing videos from friends and artists and stuff like that. I didn't have, the budgets that Smallville obviously had, but there's still a bunch of tricks that you can pull from it, like just ideas about lighting and like little this is one that I remember early on. There's something called the French reverse. It's this filmmaking tactic where if you don't have the time or resources to set up filming in two locations, or rather in two directions, you can film me looking this way, and this is the background, and then with a slight camera adjustment, just filming the other person looking off axis, and you make it feel like you're having a conversation between the actors as you shoot both of their coverage. And they did this on a couple of scenes I was shooting in Smallville because the set only was built in one direction. And so I was able to recycle that. I've done that on a number of music videos over the years, either if you're tight for time or if you don't have a location that looks good in both directions. And it was just like, it was something they casually brought up, but that like, I wouldn't have known about that. And I tried looking it up subsequently by that name on like Google. And as with a lot of film jargon, it's pretty insider baseball sometimes. It didn't bring up like a plethora of like, this is what this is. It was like, I don't know if that's the official term for it or if there are many, but I love that kind of stuff. If you can pick up those kind of things along the way, it gave me a lot to work with early on that I think was really helpful.
That is cool, Wes. And listening to you describe it as well, there's no doubt that it's inside baseball, but it's really good stuff. We've learned a great deal from individuals such as yourself, from our own involvement and stuff, and we still learn every day. We see what they do. We would call it a two-shot setup, off angle because we don't know anything.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, and I'm sure there'd be a million, like, who knows if that's the, maybe that's what that one guy liked to call it. But like, I wouldn't have thought of that, presumably. Yeah. It seemed like on like a show that was this huge budget and like all these things going on where you're like, oh, I'm surprised they do that. But like, why not? I remember looking at the footage of it later. I'm like, you just can't tell. You've just moved it enough. You've changed a little bit of the framing behind. You push a light a little bit, and you can do that a turnaround really fast, as opposed to like if you need to fully relight in the opposite direction, that can take some time.
Oh yeah.
Michael, he speaks like a director. Actually, no. That's an insult. No. You know what, Wes? That's an insult. Michael, he speaks like a creator, doesn't he? Oh, yeah. Yes, I think that's more appropriate. Yes, I do want to give a quick shout out to Mark Parent. Thank you for the like. Of course, Casey, thank you for the comment. Evening all. And of course, Ross, thank you for joining us. Actually, I think Ross is the closest one to you. He's in northern Utah, thereabouts. So he's close. I'm further south. So we have some West Coast representation.
Nice.
We have actually quite a few people watching us. Folks, let us know who you are and where you hail from. You are with a special edition of Monday Night in America here on the twin holidays of Thanksgiving from the Maple Leaf and from down south, Columbus Day. It's kind of funny in this case. So share where you guys are. And if you have any questions, of course, fire them off. We're already off to a great start right now. And we are a day one of an agreed upon a three deal sign in play. Oh, what is it called? When they have I guess it's a 2 or 3 picture deal.
Yeah, it's locked in. Yeah.
You're locked in.
Locked in for a whole trilogy here.
Yeah, we may have had to have given one back already. So for what happened,
maybe
earlier.
2.
Right. That means we're status quo, dude. We lost out in 18 minutes. Let's not do that.
Well, we can build up more.
You can win it back. That's
oh, all right.
So yeah, there's like a running ticker here, probably.
Oh man, that is funny, folks. The website is there, wesmackmusic.com. Obviously on Instagram as well, which is Wes Mack Music. Facebook, easy enough. I was there a few moments ago. We're going to visit his website in a little bit, but we do want to talk about your music as well. I think I'm going to have to run and get my wallet, all kidding aside. And I'm going to do this because
what you got to do.
Dude, I'm buying your music. All right.
Appreciate that.
I know we're not going to be able to play all of it because we don't want to again, but I'm hoping to give the audience a taste or a tease. I don't know why that's I don't know why I'm being all defensive about that right now, but it's a tease. It's typical Hollywood jargon.
Yeah.
Hey. Do you guys know the difference between a teaser and a preview? Yeah, I don't care.
I was gonna say I feel like it's a subjective length sort of thing.
Yeah, I was just messing around.
I feel like you don't. I feel like a trailer has probably told you too much about the project, and a teaser not enough.
Oh my goodness! Oh, don't even get me going on what Hollywood's been doing lately, trying to appeal to a certain little generation that they have to give it all away in the teaser, folks. But this is way before your time, Wes. Air America is the one that gave out the entire movie in the teaser or the trailer, whatever. Disappointing. And then Jimmy Neutron, a 2001 movie, gave out the entire movie also. The only thing left out was a chicken dance. I was disappointed. I saw the entire movie in the trailer. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, Michael. Oh, here we go. Ross says, last time I showed up, you ran off too. Oops. Oh, man. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. I want to get the music, want to support. He's taking the time on a holiday. He, being Wes, it is a major holiday in Canada, and he's with friends and family today, and he still graciously decided to spend some time with us. And I'm getting the feeling that it's still graciously. So, right. Michael, let's keep it going. Yeah, let's keep it going, Michael.
Okay. Yeah, we talked a little bit off air, but let's bring some of this back.
Yes, please. Good stuff.
You were in a series that is on Netflix right now, The Imperfects.
Yeah.
And you play. What? Owen Schultz.
Owen. There you go.
Yeah. Now that is an interesting character. I don't want to give away too much, but just say in one scene I saw you in, you were driving them crazy, and they basically had to poison you.
Yeah.
To keep you quiet and subdued. I mean, it was like,
oh, nice.
Okay.
You know, I go through the ringer a little bit on that.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. It was honestly, I quite love Owen. I feel like he is like the most altruistic character within like a show that's got like a bit of a harder like bite to it kind of thing. He's this very like sweet, altruistic guy, but admittedly I suffer from copper madness in the episode, kind of lose my mind for a brief period of time, but all with the best intentions.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's what you thought. Yeah.
I think it works out in the end, in the grand scheme of Owen, nobody gets too badly hurt.
No, which is good. Good.
Yeah.
Now, which career, let's say, did you start first? Was it music?
Oh, teacher.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't acknowledge.
Oh.
So are we going to me on this?
Yes.
Unless you want to steal. This is the opportunity to steal. Actually, I kind of want to know what the answer is. What did I do first, Roger? What did I do first?
Music.
Yeah, I'd give you that. I give you 5 points to Slytherin, Gryffindor. What house?
Gryffindor, yes.
Gryffindor, nice. Dope.
I do want to say only because of the way that we were starting the conversation earlier. Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah, I know. It's. I'm sorry. It's wild.
No, dude, that is cool. Usually that's happening. I'm sorry. I said dude. I mean Wes. Forgive me.
Oh man. Half the people I know in my life, I probably only know as dude or man.
Yeah, I get that. I just, based on what I see from your website, and I always kid around with Michael. Years ago, when we first started we've been doing this since 2008.
Nice.
We've been interviewing, and seconds before we were going to go live, I'm not going to mention the actor's name, older gentleman, even at the time was an older gentleman. Just before we went, I says, "Did you do your research?" And my line was like, "Yeah, of course I did my research," but it was audio, so no one could see that. I was like, "Yeah, of course we did."
Did he flip it on you? Did he interview you? Did he test you?
No. And
there is a test coming at the end of this interview. So
that actor, he was a Renaissance man. The things that he had done his entire life. He was an older gentleman already. I think he was already in the 60s or 70s when we.
Right.
I think he still is alive, and I should check. It was a wonderful interview. It was difficult the interview was actually difficult. Couldn't make a connection, but he was incredibly genteel, knowledgeable, and very giving. I understand that phrase now, especially in the industry.
Yeah.
It was great. It was just, for me, it was a personal failure because I couldn't get that. Forgive me, Wes. Dude, there's a good vibe here, man. And I'm really appreciating that. Yes, I'm really getting a kick out of this. And it was just funny. I kid you not. I said, okay, we're going live in 15 seconds. Did you do your research? Did you do your preparation? Yes, Dad!
You're setting it up for real fun there.
Man, that was funny. And I've never forgotten it. And it was like in our first year.
It's like me whispering right before me, like, I'm going to ruin your life.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. Actually, we do have a few more comments, and I do apologize. Oh, I did comment about Mike Parent saying that Wes is a great entertainer, gives 100%.
Mike's
it's
good.
obvious. And
Hi, Mike.
And you know what? I've already interrupted you right there, and I interrupted you on the answer. Let me finish why I said music. I've listened to your music, and that's the only reason why I would have bet that it was music first. In that you were thinking about music before the other part. So, but go ahead, please.
It's you are correct. I mean, it's kind of one of those funny things because people have found me at different chapters in this. It basically, like I always will say, I did music for a long time first, but I was probably enjoyed some success as an actor before as a musician. Like there's a lot of like playing empty dive bars in my like earlier days in youth, which honestly, like we're one of the most fun shows I ever played in my life was to actual 0 people. I'm not kidding. I was playing bass in my buddy's rock band, and we just it's called Head of the Herd. And we'd had a song that ended up going #1 on Canadian rock radio. Yeah. But this was like right at the cusp of that happening. And that takes some time to actually go and translate into like ticket sales. So we'd played in Calgary and we'd sold the place out. It was like a 200-seater. And it was this like really sweaty, fun rock show. And the next night we were playing, I think it was in Edmonton. And we played a place where we had actual 0 people show up, to the point where even the bar staff went for a smoke at one point. So there was actually no one in the venue. And we kind of looked at each other like, I guess we're having a band practice now. And we're like, I mean, we are being paid to be here. So we really laid into it. And then eventually one person showed up and we like came down on the floor and played like directly to this one person. And you kind of have to laugh. Because obviously it's not the most illustrious show in my career. But I feel like those are kind of character builders. And honestly, in my experience of like getting to go and play some like I've gotten to play like in sold out arenas later, you appreciate that stuff a lot more having done the bunch of like really bad bar gigs. And I find sometimes you cross paths with artists who didn't ever have to do that, who maybe, they got a record deal very early on and they were very successful right out of the gate. And I find more often in that kind of person, do you find them perhaps complaining about everything or not taking in the awesome stuff that's happening. So I find there's something helpful sometimes in life to catching things in different waves. But yeah, so I got into music earlier and eventually, found my footing in it. But probably before that did a bunch more acting.
No, I thank you for that. Ross says, a bass player, cool. I still have my 1979 Fender Musicaster and an even older Sun amp.
Oh, dope. That's awesome. A Fender Music Master. Oh man, I've never played one of those. Of the Fenders, I'm like a Fender Jazz guy. But that's dope. I gotta look that up actually as to like what that specifically looks like. That's really cool.
Ross, if you're able, would you send us an image, or if you want to join us for that image, let me know. And folks, anyone that wants, you know what, we did not tell Wes this, but we may risk it a little bit, but we can bring some people into the program if they want to ask some questions.
Thank you for correcting him. I was going to later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should have corrected as well. So a bass guitar is written as a bass.
Did I say that?
You did say a bass, which, as someone who spent a lot of time playing bass, I've heard that before.
Actually, yes, it's genuine. I made the mistake, but let me tell you what I was thinking. Ross said earlier in this one, he's not too fast. You can throw him, and he meant to say you can throw him out at second, and it was bass. I know exactly why I said bass.
There we go. Okay, I see that. I see the long.
But you know what? It's cool. I still screwed it up.
It's fine.
Teacher.
We're gonna be okay.
I admit my mistake.
We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it through this together.
Yes, I think we are. And folks, if you have any questions, because we are going to make it short, we are on West time only because it is a holiday, and he so graciously decided to spend time with us. So fire off your questions. Love your comments. Check out the website, and let us continue. Michael, please, because I've got the Apple website set up from your website, and I also have the Facebook page. So we're good.
Cool. Now you have has this new song already come out? I think it has.
No, Looking For You is not out yet.
Oh,
if that's the one you're thinking of.
I think it is, yes.
Yeah, so that's coming out. It'll either be this month or next month, depending on the couple of
little things. Okay.
Yeah, that are too minutiae to explore in this. But I'm stoked about the song. It's done.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was told it was supposed to come out within a week or two, so I guess I was misinformed.
It's fun, and then I've always said in a number of interviews, anytime I ever tell someone when a piece of music is going to come out, I'm always made a liar of later because sometimes things change. Yeah.
Okay. I'm liking it. I'm liking the comments in the chat room. All right. That's good. There's a singing fish, but okay. Get some smart Alex in there. Hey, by the way, Wes, forgive me. I'm listening to every word. Dude, your lexicon. Yeah, I'm impressed. I am. Don't get me wrong. I am.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And you're using words that I'm like, ooh.
I
have a conversation.
I aim to please, right? I like to touch the four corners of my brain.
No, seriously. I know it's coming across as condescending, and I'm not trying to be in any way.
No,
it's just. Let me tell you, you've used some words that if we were on our sports program, our sports audience would be, huh? What? What the hell?
Well, I can give you a sports interview. I can talk about it. We got to put some pucks in the net, and the coach is great.
Oh, hell yeah. That is cool.
A lot of great passing. And I think the main reason we won the game is we scored more goals than the other team did. And
all right,
that was the main thing that happened out there.
You know what? We're actually getting quite a few likes right now, and I do want to thank everyone. I apologize for not mentioning them. Mike Parent did give us our first like. Randy Landers, author Bobby Nash, and oh my goodness, without even knowing, also Tony Konopka, who I respect and admire, is from our sports program. Oh my God.
Oh, man.
I am not doing well tonight. Okay. Hey, you know what? Ross, you are the bomb, Ross. Okay. He sent me the images.
Oh, cool. Okay.
This
Get
is
to see the music master.
Yeah. Give me one quick moment. This is cool, folks. There are times that the internet is absolutely awesome, Wes, and this is one of them.
Oh, damn.
Okay. This is one. And yeah, Tony. It was great. And then here's the other image.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen. So it kind of looks almost, it's similar in a lot of ways to the like a jazz, but like the cutaways are less deep. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's a cool. I like the it's almost got some sort of like cosmic pattern on it too. That's sweet.
Yeah. It's yes.
It's like a night sky, but then I'm not sure what I would call that.
And I'm sorry that I cannot blow up the image anymore. So
no, that's great.
Cool. Over here, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but Fender Music Master bass.
It's a good transition into. There's like a good set of memes where they've taken famous guitar players and bass players who are doing the good rock face, and they've replaced it with large fish. So it'll look like that. So they're just like playing a giant fish, and so maybe that's what you're going for.
That is cool. Well, I appreciate you guys all covering for me, and
yeah, we gotta help you out. This is Thanksgiving, right?
Hell, that's right.
We're coming together, right?
Heck yeah! Now look, Casey did have a question right now.
Oh yeah.
I apologize.
So, what genre would you characterize your music? I play country music. I mean, when I played in my buddy's rock band, and I've in my life played in all kinds of different kinds of bands. I grew up playing like a punk band, and I probably played some rock and some metal, and I for a brief period of time was like a DJ in an electronic group. But I like making all different kinds of music. But yeah, I kind of do singer-songwriter/country music, and that's me.
Yes, folks, right there.
There it is.
This is from his website. You click on the different, and I chose the Apple one just because
Cool.
I chose the Apple one. But there it is right there, and this is really cool, folks. So you guys can check that out. Let me remove. Oh man, I almost removed you, Wes. Let me remove that one. Oh,
Let's get this guy out of here.
damn it, that would not have been well. Ross says it's a shorty. A friend repainted it for me with a nebula effect. That is
what I was
image.
trying. Yeah, nebula.
Yeah. It's got that
Couldn't
nebula.
think of the word.
Pillars of creation kind of scenario.
Oh, Casey, that is correct. Casey is one of our co-hosts, hosts, and producers on the network. On our audio, she has a program that she produces. He is the rock and roll shrink. He is a very famous doctor on the East Coast, based out of Georgia, who his I guess talent, his music, he involves rock and roll in there, and he probably would have been able to identify and had some of the images. Yes, that is a nice bass. Okay, now I don't know how much I'm really second guessing. So, but it's all good. You're right, Casey. I wish we did. But any other comments? Go ahead and continue, Michael. Please. I keep interrupting. Rest. I apologize. Sadly, I'm enjoying this interview. I know.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, I really am, man. Yes, psychologist and also professional classic rock guitarist.
Dope.
Which is crazy. And by the way, since I'm giving up all the beans tonight, he's looking to retire and move to Idaho. So he's going to be pretty close to you. And who knows, maybe you can join one of the programs there. But Casey, thank you for the like. We're up to 5 likes, folks. Thank you. Michael, go ahead and continue.
Yeah.
But this is so cool.
Okay, let's switch gears.
Sorry.
And I think this is going to be a tough question for you, Wes. But if we go down to 0 in our grading scale, oh well.
Gotta try.
I think we're at 1 right now, Roger.
Gotta try. Cut it out, man.
Always gotta try.
We don't need to try. We're overqualified.
With all the.
But thank you.
With all the projects you have done on film, what has been most exciting, most something maybe you've learned the most from, like what you said about going and they let you watch them do the cinematography.
Yeah.
But besides that one, what's one that you've either learned a lot or you enjoyed or you met someone that you admired?
Yeah.
Something similar like that.
So I think the one's kind of coming up. I get to shoot a movie a couple of years ago called Cold Pursuit. It was a Liam Neeson movie, and there's a bunch of things that were really, really, really fun about that. I really enjoyed working with him, and obviously I had a lot of respect for him, like coming into it, just like the caliber of actor he is, and like I didn't tell him this at the time, but I have a Pepsi can out at my cabin with his face as Qui-Gon on it, so like I'm a fan. As a dude who grew up watching a little tangent when I was a kid, and I'd go up to. There's one summer I went up to my cabin and I was there for the full 2 months, and I only brought 2 VHS tapes with me, and I had The Phantom Menace and I had Small Soldiers, and I would just watch them interchanging each day. So like I had the lines dialed in both of those by the end. So safe to say, as a fan of him, but honestly, I gained even a lot more respect in working with him. There was a couple things that I thought were really cool. You can tell a lot about like what a show was going to be like, oftentimes by who's sort of the A-list, the number one on the call sheet is. They're going to set the tone of a lot of things. And he, like, I remember specifically, like, he didn't have like a special Liam Neeson chair. He didn't have he didn't demand a certain like level of treatment that was sometimes. I find sometimes you work with actors who kind of put people below them, and he very much was like lifting everybody up and was like a very chill guy to work with. And like the one thing maybe from like an acting perspective that like I feel like he said this one thing in rehearsals for the film that like I don't think I really truly fully grasped at the time, but years later it kind of dawned on me what he was really getting at, and I was like, oh man, that was really on the nose. So we're doing rehearsals, and at some point the director stops us and goes like, okay, well, how do you guys feel about that? Like, you know, the takes you've just done. And this is a scene where, you know, he's supposed to be throwing me around against like a inside a snowplow shop. And in rehearsals, we weren't really doing that. We were just kind of running the lines. And he stopped and really like methodically and said, like his slow Irish accent, he goes, I think we're going to have to really get out there and see what that space does to us. And the director was like very like pontificating as well. And he's like, yeah. And I'm sitting there just trying to play it cool. I'm like, yeah, right. And I remember thinking like at the time, like, oh yeah, like, okay, that's, you know, this is sort of the be in the moment kind of thing. But it's something I've really grown to appreciate years later and grasped when we actually did get up into the snowplow shop. In that, like, any and all of the prep that I had done, a lot of it was at that point in my career far more based on what I thought I was going to be doing and having like huge expectations of like, this is how the scene's going to go and this is what's going to happen. These are the beats we're going to hit. And I find that stuff is often really debilitating because you can't have it just unfold naturally. Whereas if you are capable, if you have enough craft to get in there and know what your character is about, know what they're going for, then you can just kind of ride the roller coaster. You've already built the tracks. You can just get in there and get in each other's faces and see what happens. And I feel like that's kind of more what we actually ended up doing on the day of. And it made me realize, like, way after the fact, I was like, oh, that was what he was really getting at there. Of like, oh yeah, he said, we won't actually know how this is going to go until we're in that space and see what the space does to us. And he wasn't just talking about the snowplow shop. It was it's the whole thing. It's all the people on set. It's the energy. It's the costumes you're wearing. It's the whole thing. And if you like can be present enough to really be the sponge and soak all of that up, I think that's where you get the most interesting stuff. I can think of a million examples throughout my career where that stuff has worked far better than when you come in and you think, okay, this is how it's going to go. Because invariably it doesn't. You know, that doesn't really simulate life. Like you can go, okay, well, I've got this meeting today at the bank and this is how I think it's going to go. Guess what? It might not. And if you're in there and you're trying to like force an agenda, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But if you're able to be fluid with things, I mean, especially with acting, with creative stuff, I just find you find more interesting stuff. So this has been kind of a roundabout answer on this, but love the dude. And I feel like he had a very good take on it. And one more shout out to him. He was shooting a really long day, and I remember I was just in the last couple scenes of it, and the director at one point was like, oh, like, Liam, do you need to go and like you can get to bed, like it's getting late, like because I know you have an early day the next day, we can put in a stand-in once your coverage is done. And so that would be like when they flip the coverage around on me, there could be someone else there because we've already picked off all the stuff that Liam's going to be in. And he was like, no, like, I got to be there for Wes, like right down to the end of like all of his takes. And like, I'm in a few scenes in that movie. I really appreciated that. That was like the kind of classy stuff where I'm just like, great. That and it's, I think that's the reason he's got the career he's got, you know, he's like, he's lifting people up rather than putting people down. I try to emulate something like that in my creative work.
Wes, that is, I wasn't roundabout. That was an awesome answer and a great story. Thank you. We have a comment from Casey. Then I want to get back to Mike's question. And then I have one, and then we are definitely on your time. So, I mean, we have been, but you know what I mean.
Hey, no worries. If we run a little over it, it's not going to be the end of the world.
I get that, but again, it's a holiday, buddy, and we get that. So Casey says, and it's a comment. That's just like real life. When you act, it may be fictional, but it's portraying a life. So you can only control it in advance, but so much. Yeah.
It's
Mike had a question, and mine's going to be difficult after, but he says, what's more fun for you to perform, indoors or outside shows?
So context for everyone watching, Mike is tremendous at what he does. He's booked my band a couple of times in the past, and we recently got to do a festival, the Harrow Fair. Shout out to that, which is one of my favorite places I've ever gotten to play. So just like props to Mike, because he runs an unbelievable show and one of the more fun places to get to go and hang out.
Mike, would you kindly put, sorry, Wes.
Yeah,
Mike, would you kindly put your website right there as a comment, and we'll put it up on screen. Thank you. If Wes says it's worth it, then we're doing it.
Oh yeah, it's rad.
Please, Mike, we would love to give you some play. I cut you off. I'm sorry, sir.
No, dude. There's stuff I love about both. As a guy who's pretty pale, sometimes outdoor shows during the day can roast me a little bit. I don't know. There's something really cool about both. When you're outdoors and you get to play, at sunset, and you get the epic majesty of whatever is happening in front of you, that can be really rad. But on the other hand, like, you get like a certain intimacy in indoor shows there, where if it's a smaller thing, you can really achieve a certain kind of silence and everyone hanging on everything. Or if it's an arena or something like that, you get like a degree of volume in there. So I don't know. I like most things in my life. I like variety. I like things that are different. If all the shows I ever played were indoors, then I'd probably be craving outdoor shows and vice versa.
Fair enough. Mine is a technical question only insofar. Let me give you an example. When I go to watch, thank you, Mike. We'll put it up in a. Michael, could you put that as a ticker or as a if not a ticker,
or as the other
banner?
thing?
Yeah, the other thing. I'm listening as a fan. I very little am I involved in Hollywood music, whatever, but I'm always paying attention when I'm watching a movie for music, and I'm watching sometimes the background. Because directors and actors and staff, they're comedians. They put stuff in the back.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'm watching is, I like to watch camera angles because of what they're doing. But if it's a good story, first and foremost, I'm listening to the music for the musical cues and the emotional stuff. Mm-hmm. You as a professional, when you are watching someone else's stuff, and again, maybe not watching, but hearing. Well, I guess it's kind of dumb if it's music. Let's stick with the film. You're only hearing music. I mean, what can you get? But do you catch? Here's a two-part. Do you catch yourself thinking of the technical aspects of it? And if you do, what are you looking for? Being that you've done that stuff.
So do you mean, just to clarify, do you mean specifically when watching for like music cues in film and television?
I pay attention to them.
Yeah.
Like
so you want my take on that kind of thing?
Well, are you able to lose yourself in film?
Yeah.
And TV.
So I think totally. I think I can flip gears. And it's one of those things. It's never wrecked it for me. I find when I'm really watching for that kind of stuff or listening for it, if anything, I appreciate it more. Like I'm very easily caught up in the emotion of I'll cry at every second movie kind of thing. And oftentimes it's around music cues. And I know when they're doing it. Like I know when I'm being emotionally manipulated by this beautiful score. But I'm like, bring it on, because that's what you pay the bucks for, to have a popcorn and have somebody like take you on a ride. I love that stuff. I think there's like so much that goes into like when to use music, when to use no music, when is silence your friend, when do you want to be subtle versus when you want to be bombastic. You look at something like when the trailer for Inception came out and it was the
yes.
To me, I find that so interesting because that set off like a decade of trailers that were all just ripping that, like it to the point where by the end it was almost like a parody where people like I think like South Park did like a spoof on it at some point because it had just it was so good. It worked so well for that movie that every movie wanted a piece of that. But I love that was somewhere along the lines, be it Nolan or the Music Super on that, or I think it was Hans Zimmer maybe on that one. But somebody decided to like, cool, we're going to build this all around this one low note. And this is going to be this motif. I think that's so cool. Like there's a good instance of, I guess this is a lighting one, but it's still a funny story. So this is a Lord of the Rings thing. So I guess
that's what I'm dying to ask you on. But go ahead.
Oh, dude. Okay, let's get there.
Go ahead.
Okay, so good segue. So this is Elijah Wood was talking to the lighting guy when they're shooting the scene in the tower where Sam in Return of the King comes to save him, and he's wrapped up and he's still messed up from the Shelob and all that stuff. He a lot of times with lighting, the like conventional wisdom is you're supposed to try and light in a way that's like practical. Like if there's a window in a room, like try and have a motivated lighting source as opposed to just like sticking a light on someone, which, you know, people follow that or don't follow that, whatever. And I guess Elijah Wood says, you know, and he laughs at it because he's like, oh, I was so young. He's like, I asked the lighting guy, like, well, where's this light supposed to be coming from? And the guy looked at him, he's like, same place the music is, kid. And I like that because it's like, it's you ride that fine line between sometimes you want realism in those things and sometimes you're like, no, like make it work, build the tower however you need to do it.
It's interesting that you choose that moment of the Lord of the Rings. There's two of them, which I want to talk to the audience so they kind of understand my thinking. When Pip or Mary, I apologize, when Mary is about to light the beacon of Amansul, you got the music, you know, it's picking up, something's going on. And then when he lights it, you know, at first it's like, oh my God, he's going to burn himself. But then you get that orchestra that takes it across the mountains. It's beautiful. It's telling you there's hope. Something's going to happen. The other one, I love it when the Rohirrim show up, something's going to happen, and then the charge. But the scene that I was thinking of was how the music, the director, they help us, they manipulate us. I loved it in The Return of the King, where our three heroes jump off the Corsairs. And the music is just bombastic.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I love that spot.
They're telling us, dude, there's something big.
It's going down.
You know, it's no game. Hold on for the ride.
I mean,
I love that.
It's so masterful. Like there's so many like scores and motifs in those in the trilogy. Like anytime you ever hear just na 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 na, you're like, we're going to the Rohirrim. We're going to Rohan right now.
Yeah.
It's so iconic. That stuff is masterfully done. So I think like it is an often underused, like sound and music are often overlooked when you think about filmmaking. People think about visuals. Like you can do so much work with that. Like the amount of weightlifting that can occur with just the score in a film is unreal.
Before I get to that comment with Ross, did Star Wars, famously, George Lucas did say that if anything exceeded his expectations, it was the John Williams score.
Yeah, totally.
It did change movie making, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, John Williams is like having cheat codes. And I mean, what I love about him is that, like, there's really common themes. Like, if you listen to Jurassic Park and you listen to the Harry Potter stuff and you listen to Star Wars and you listen to Indiana Jones, he's not trying to hide the fact there's like a common fingerprint he puts on things. He has certain chord structures he really likes. He knows how to create like an evil motif and how to create an uplifting one and how to create a perilous one. And like, I'm not saying he's not inventive on each of them, but he's got this like bit of magic that he's really tapped into. And I think that you almost want that out of a composer in the same way, like you go watch a Spielberg film or something, there's common fingerprints. Like you watch a Chris Nolan film, there's similar things they do, and composers are no different. He's got this amazing bag of tricks, and like you can't beat it when he wants to bring home the bacon on a score. Like it's there. He's got it.
Harry Potter is one of my personal favorites. Indiana Jones, everything that you mentioned, and there's still so much more that he's done, and is still. I think he finally said he's done, right?
Oh man, we'll see. I mean, man,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see until he's. I mean, it's also just like he has so many legacy projects now that like, anytime they're ever going to do a Star Wars like core film, they're going to be either directly using his music or it's like, anytime you see like a spin-off project, they're always aware of it and they're always like throwing in motifs of it. Like his influence, when you look at all the projects he's involved in and how many, like, if you think about over the next 50 years, how many spin-offs of spin-offs there will be of things related to John Williams projects, his music, even if he's not making it, is going to be made for a long time. Yeah, which I like.
That. Yeah, Ross had the comment, the Top Gun first one started off with that low pitch ring that was similar and got used by everyone.
Yeah. Have
you seen the first one and the second Top Gun?
Yeah, I've seen Maverick recently, and then I haven't watched the original Top Gun in a number of years, but like pretty familiar with it, and I really love both.
I tell everyone that I hate being a spoiler, other than what we're doing right now. I hate doing the spoilers, but I tell everyone, when you're watching Maverick, and I don't know, Wes, how it felt for you, but when the movie started, it was like, remember?
Oh,
remember? Yeah.
It
makes no bones about it.
But it does a great job of what I loved about that movie is it was kind of layers to an onion of like, I got in, I'm like, cool. I was expecting to get kind of a retread of Top Gun, which I was like totally cool with. I'm like, if we just kind of go there again, great. And then it gives you that. And then it gives you, I'll avoid all spoilers in it, but then it gives you what feels like it's almost the end of the movie. Like I thought things were ending. And then there's this like whole thing that happens at the end that you don't see coming, in my opinion, that's not like teeth, where it goes kind of an underlayer deeper than the original film. Which I thought was a really nice touch. I thought it was like, it did a really great job of being like, hey, you like Top Gun? Come on in. We're going to take you for a ride. And then we're going to give you another. And we're going to give you another. And we're going to do the whole thing. I loved it.
It was so cool because it wasn't overkill. It was, it was like, hey, remember this? Guess what?
Totally.
We're coming back.
Yeah,
and it
nice
was
tips of
absolutely
the hat.
awesome.
Yeah, nice. Like that is such a fine line with a legacy project.
Oh, yes.
Of
and
like
I think they
how
hit
much
all the right chords.
How much fan service versus no, it's all good, man. This is you're stoked on it so much. It's how much fan service versus how much new ground do you break? You know, because it's if you just vary a little too far, it becomes like this is just a retread. Or you go too far in the other direction, it's like you lost the source material, you abandoned ship on it, and like, it's not an easy task, but when you nail it, which I feel like that film did, it's great.
By the way, Wes, I didn't want to interrupt you again, but abandoned ship, Navy, Top Gun, well done. You got one in there too. You got that one in. Michael, come on in, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Monday Night America. We're having a wonderful conversation, and we are getting near the time. We are on Wes's time right now because it is a holiday. When he tells us he's had it with us, that's how we know. And we've had that happen quite often. So, because we will go on
in hour four.
We've done 4 5-hour episodes.
You know, but I find with this stuff when you can get into like, I don't know, just shooting the shit on like, you know, movies and stuff like this, time can fly. It's pretty easy to just like, I find it much easier to talk about, and I enjoy talking more about like stuff like this as opposed to being like, go listen to my song, go watch my new project. You know what I mean? Where it's like, cool. If people want to do that, that would be great. I'd love it if you did that. But I also
we don't do that.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
We're just afraid. Okay, seriously, Wes. We forgot to ask. That was number 1 about playing your music, and 2, we don't want to. You know, we don't want to give it up either. You know what I mean? I mean, we want people
give it away. Go for it.
Okay, but I'm going to see if I can play just a little bit because, again, I want to show some of that stuff. Is there a particular one that you would like me to play? And obviously, we're only going to play a portion of it.
Yeah. So, there's a song I have called Best Hangover that for whatever reason in the last year, Spotify and streaming services have just decided it's going to spin more than it ever has in the past, which I'm kind of stoked about. I don't know why that's the case. It's the infinite algorithm doing neat things.
Folks, I ask you to bear with me. I'm not certain if I'm going to be able to get it to play because it's the first time we actually do music. That's another reason why we were very tentative. And we're going to see Best Hangover, correct?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can. Okay, volume up.
And there she is.
Waking up at 10 a.m. Guess whiskey got me again, but I ain't complaining. Got a little bit lit last night, but I must have done something right. So here you are, baby, And I don't remember much from the backseat of the cab to me laying here tracing this little tattoo on your back. There's a 10-pound hammer like a kick drum in my head, but that ain't the only reason I ain't getting out of bed. You're the best hangover I've ever had, with your head on my shoulder, girl, it ain't half bad. Sleepy eyes pull me closer, girl, I wanna make it last. You're the best hangover I've ever had.
Okay. Yes, I was waiting for your signal to say,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always have to resist because whenever you just have to like sort of quietly listen to your own music in like a public setting, I'm always just like, I feel. But you know, I took that time to listen because I don't very often like go back, and I find with a lot of musicians this is the case. You obsessively listen to your own music while you're working on it, like you're always tweaking in the studio. And once it's out there, I can go many years without listening to it. So sometimes turning on something like that, it's like, oh, it's neat. I remember tracking that backing vocal part, or I remember like how there's this little like roll sound on something that was actually drummed on a Kleenex box in that song that we like affected. So that stuff kind of comes back. It's neat. It's a song I quite love.
Now it's best hangover. Okay, Ross, thank you for that comment. Okay, the impetus behind it: a memory, a story. What is it? What's the deal?
You know, honestly, this is one. So songwriting is an interesting cat like this. So this is a song I wrote with a couple guys down in Nashville. And most of the time when you are the like artist on the right, because I've done a bunch of songwriting as well as the like a writer where I'm in writing for another artist. It's not going to be my song. This was me as like this song was for me, but there was another artist and writer on the right who literally just kind of lived this song the night before. And this was very much an instance of like they how do I explain this? You end up in different positions in songwriting. Sometimes like you're driving everything and you are the creator of it. And sometimes you're the filter of it. And sometimes you are a facilitator. And this ends up making a lot of sense to songwriters. If you have everyone in a right just trying to like push their own ideas constantly, it's sometimes really hard to get something written. So I say all of this in that like that song, while I have many chapters in my life that probably feel like that, this is specifically one dude. You could tell like he had this experience and it was like on the surface for him. So I was like, cool, we're going to write that song. So I'm going to work with you. We're going to craft our way through this, which is really neat. I don't know if I've ever had someone come in that much of a live wire of like, and this is that kind of goes back to the Liam Neeson thing of like, you got to write that song that day. As if that guy needs to write that song that day. And I'm like, yeah, we're writing one about a truck today. Shut up. You know, then you're shelving like a chance. You know, I think you gotta be. Most of the whole creative world is just trying to be open to when inspiration comes. Because if you try and like come up with stuff when you're very uninspired, it's much harder. But if you can catch that lightning in a bottle when it's really going for you, that's the magic.
Wow, appreciate that. Casey says, "How many instruments do you play, and which ones are they?"
I play guitar, I play drums, I play bass, I play keyboards, piano, not super duper well. And I would say the same for like mandolin. And then you get into things beyond that of like, I play maracas and I play the tambourine. So we'll say maybe 5. 5 that I can do something reasonable on.
I was going to ask you, which is the one that we would not expect you to play, and I think that would have been the maracas.
Yeah. I got a set of maracas here.
Yeah, maple leaf. Yeah, I would not see you play maracas.
But you gotta, I got a set of castanets here. They're the when you get that sort of like flamenco percussion thing. It's really interesting how that's achieved. They are literally just these little like clappy things that you hold in your palms. There's a specific way you have to hold them. And I remember when I first figured out how to play them, you just want to be like, well, this song could use those. And you realize like most songs probably don't need castanets, but there's like a period of time where you're just like, every song needs castanets now.
Yeah, that is cool. I would not expect that from you, Maple Leaf.
Yeah. From the great, the beaver pelt.
I hope I'm not being condescending, am I? That. No. Okay.
I've watched South Park. I've seen what they did to us.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I just said Maple Leaf, man.
Hey, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been called much worse.
All right. Well, fair enough, folks. Maple Leaf, Canada. Come on. How bad can it be? It's like calling someone, red, white, and blue, or stars and stripes. Come on.
Oh yeah.
It's the exact same thing.
I love the Maple Leaf.
Ross says my parents got rid of my drum set before I had a chance to get.
Yeah. Admittedly,
You wanted a chance to get good.
I had a drum set when I was a kid, and it is a testament to my parents that like part of it's like, why'd you do that to yourself? It's like you gave me the tools to do this. But I really appreciate it. That was actually drums were my first instrument, and I played violin for a while, but I wouldn't count myself as someone who could really do that anymore. I didn't keep it up.
Now, before I go back to Michael on another one for the music, how many albums do you have? Is it the one album, or do you have two? Or
there's two full length-ish albums that are out.
The one that we were taking a look at is Soul, correct?
Yeah, and there's another one called Edge of the Storm.
Okay, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that one.
Yeah, no worries, man.
But it is there, folks. Excellent, that song. I know I'm going to be getting them myself. I have an Apple. Oh, hey, so what do you have? Do you have an Android or an Apple? I know, way off base, dude.
I have my iPhone right here.
Yeah, I think I have one too. I don't know what Michael has, but I guess it's present company exclusive.
But I got the one with the fingerprint reader still. I've hugged to it of like getting the second edition. Yeah. I've got the SE second edition because I'm just big on it. I like that I can like open it without needing to aim it at me.
Yeah,
I just fashion, but I like this futuristic phone.
I'm not ready to do that because I've joked with people that if I do the facial recognition, I don't want Homeland Security. This is an American joke. I don't need for Homeland Security to identify me as to where I am at the moment.
I think they got you. I think they got you.
Definitely.
I think based on doing this, they might have some video images.
Very good, Wes. But, and I tell that to a lot of people in my universe, and they never get that. Very good, Wes.
That's why he wears a hat.
Yeah. Well, Michael is on the East Coast. He actually is. Are you blocks away, Michael, or you're about a mile away, right?
From who?
The Vice President's house?
Well, his new house.
Well, no, I mean there at the Naval Observatory.
Yeah, that's like 2.5, 3. Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's 3 miles away right there in D.C. And when we're talking a lot, we'll hear something in the background and a click. So he's always saying, NSA is listening to him. And more him than me because I never get cut off.
If you can get the NSA liking your videos, I think that would probably be a good, you can get a few of those likes in there. Maybe you get the whole office gathered around.
There you go.
Yeah. All I know is that whenever I'm on with Michael, that's when I lose the phone calls. And it's funny because we'll say something that we've determined they're listening for, and then we get, but wait a minute, should they be recording or they're cutting us off because like, hey, idiots, we already got what we needed.
We're shutting you guys down.
Yeah, we're done. It's like, yeah. So we do joke about that.
Or you got the intern there who's just like, I'm going to mess with that. Yeah, why not?
Michael, I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have student workers in my job that, okay, well, I'm
you got to do it. You got to mess around on every job somewhere.
Well, I was going to say that, even senior clerks do that, but I'm not going to reveal what I do. I don't work for that government, so it's okay. But it's all good. Folks, we're well into our second hour here now, and it's a wonderful October 10th, 2022. We're on here with Wes Mack. Is it the most recent album, Soul, or is that the first?
Yeah, Soul's the most recent, yeah.
Okay. I know I'm going to be getting them as well. I don't know. I'm purchasing Canadian stuff all this week because we had a guest from Canada and I purchased his book too.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely
support the old local economy here. Appreciate it.
Hell yeah. It's talent, man. It's at the very least we appreciate what you do and then being able to listen to it. Wes, I had heard the music, but it wasn't until I spoke to you where it was you don't match. If you can understand what I'm saying. Whether it's
this might answer the question. How long were you in Nashville?
Oh, I don't know what the hell that had to do with it, but thanks for the saving question.
And-
How long were you in
dude,
that show?
I mean, do you mean like voice to appearance?
I think voice to
demeanor
appearance. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Wes, for saving me again.
Oh,
Go ahead,
it's-
Michael.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's one of those ones where I can only. Sorry, it's slapping the window again.
Do you know, Wes? I think what it was is your speech does not sound like your singing voice.
Yeah, and
think
I feel
that's
like
where
I feel like that's actually kind of common when you really like go around the horn. If you really start picking apart
Yeah.
like a bunch of singers, where it's like once you know what they look like, you go, oh yeah, that's actually what's going on there. But
Okay.
you know, all I can say is that's what comes out of me, and this is the face I got. So I'm on the ride.
Hey. Are you watching House of Dragon on HBO?
So I haven't. I dove into Rings of Power first. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're talking about that program.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying that one a lot. I haven't done House of Dragons yet. I started to watch like a tiny bit of it, and I was kind of having like a bit of a stressful day, and I got to the part with the baby. And in the first episode, and it was pretty intense. I was like, I can't do this right now. Like, I'm not in the headspace for what's happening.
Right now, there's a scene in the last episode where the king says something. It's he's talking about family, and he says, "You will not look any more upon my face, this handsome face, or whether it was or never was." He says that. It was really kind of cool. So I was just thinking about that right now. But no, man, it's just. It didn't match for me, and that was just a comment. But you have a wonderful voice, the music. I'm not a country man, but I like your music. I am, and then now having the privilege to speak to you about it, about some of these, and if we do have a 2 or 3 part deal for the future, we can even get into that a little bit more. Do you have any music in the works? Stupid me. Do you have any music projects in the works?
Like more albums, more singles,
or singles? Anything?
Yeah. So I have a single called "Looking For You" that'll come out somewhere in the next like month or something to that effect, and then I got an album that'll come out later next year. That's basic. It's actually all done musically. So there's probably a couple singles that'll lead into that. It's kind of the whole like model of doing that has changed a bit over the last bunch of years, where with streaming services, you want to basically have released all your singles and then release the album, as opposed to if you backtrack this to more of like a CD world, like maybe you release 1 or 2 singles and then the album and then go a little deeper on it. And there's a whole logic behind that. But yeah, so it's oftentimes the album is kind of the finale of what you're working on.
All kidding aside, humbly, when you start releasing, we would love to be involved, not tangentially. We would love to be involved,
right in there.
We would love to talk about your music, and when the debuts start happening next year, or at any time, we would love to have you on that, and help get the word out, man. You don't need our help. We can help out a little bit.
I appreciate it all the same, man. Every you need.
We're stunned, Michael. Our numbers, unfortunately, are in what we call the archive. And it annoys me to know when people, you have a podcast. No, it's live. We do live.
Right.
And then it's a podcast.
Yeah. That's cool because you never know what's going to happen live. You could have to stand up at some point and we find out what your pants situation is.
You can't edit it out.
Can't do it.
No, Wes,
Well, do it live.
Hell no. I respect you, man. This has been a great interview. I can't ruin it that way. You will say, yeah, that 2 or 3 picture deal's gone. You blew it, dude.
I've seldom been in the position to offer a 2 or 3 picture deal, but wow, it really all comes down to pants.
Yeah, it does. The pants scene was last week. Again,
seems like it's an every week thing.
It happened. Well, it is for 2 weeks in a row. It happened, and it's actually one of your kin, Michael, who was our guest on Wednesday. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Are you an X-Files fan?
I never got into it.
Okay, then you won't know who they are.
I mean, I'm aware of just like the core people, but yeah, I never got into X-Files, which it's weird because it's probably right up my alley.
One of the villains, the singer, I'm sorry, the cigarette smoking guy, He was on with us. Michael, who's our guest?
Who was our guest that you can't remember?
Who was our
Davis.
guest? William Davis, yes. A Canadian also.
Oh, cool.
So he was on Wednesday, which was really cool.
Shout out to my fellow Canadians then.
Yeah. And I actually called him Maple Leaf too, and he did not have
He did not like that.
Oh,
call him once. I didn't say it again. I thought it was actually no. You know what? No, I didn't call him that. I said being up from the land of Maple Leaf. Yeah,
but he did not like that.
No,
yeah,
for some
he told me
reason.
about it at our weekly Canadian conference that we all attend.
Is that at that donut place that
Yeah.
you guys are famous for?
Yeah. We go to a single Tim Hortons, just all of us.
There it is.
We get the whole country in there. We really just shake it down. We're like, Roger. Yeah, you do that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it could be worse.
Yeah,
Let me see. Mike says Wes is a great representative of all industries he's involved in, and just a great, genuine person. And thank you, Mike, and a fellow Canadian.
Thank you,
Heck
Mike.
yeah.
You're the best, man.
No, I appreciate it, Mike, and hopefully we'll give you some play, and we will gladly mention your website again. So, Mike, if you want to be on the program and talk about
and then I can chirp in about Mike.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. That is cool. Michael, do you have any additional questions since I've been monopolizing as always?
Well, yeah, but it's fun. I learn a lot.
Oh yeah, it's fun that I'm the big monopolizer.
Yes,
I
it's
was
so
going to
much
start
fun.
with the D right now, but I went with EM.
Well, yeah. Let's see. We try to do, since we've been talking about music, let's go back to movie making.
Oh, okay. But again, we are cognizant, Wes.
Yeah, you just let us know.
You guys are polite, man. You guys don't know how to say no. So we are in your time, seriously. And it is all good. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. So it's all, hey, I'm getting a disturbance.
Disturbance in the force. You can feel it. You can feel it in your Qui-Gon Pepsi can.
Wes, I'm not sure if you guys have the same requirements, but down here in the United States, we have income tax requirements that we have to file every year. And I'm a tax man. So when I'm preparing documents.
Are you an IRS guy?
No.
Is this a tax audit? Is this what this whole thing's about?
No. But my label on Twitter is the IRS man. But no, I have a business. I help clients prepare their yearly tax return. So when I'm doing the return and they're in front of me, once the return is transmitted and I get a confirmation, if they're here, obviously it works. And if they're not, I send them a text and it's pretty quick. So when they're right here in front of me and I get the confirmation I've been told them and I manipulate everything and I send the text and it takes about 20 seconds. So I'll turn and I'll act it out. I was like, I'm getting a disturbance. I'm getting a feeling. And then their phone invariably goes off. And they're like, oh, hey, Roger, I just got a text. My federal was approved. I'm like, that's right. That's right. So when you said that, I was like, yeah, I do that to my clients.
This is how I felt about it. Do you remember the era when cell phones would cause any speakers near them to do the little right before them? And it was a very disturbance in the forest. Like, I feel like I'm gonna get a call now.
Oh, that was my monopolizing comment. Yes. All right, fair enough. It is all good. I'm sorry. Oh, and whenever I say that, stupid Siri gets involved.
I know.
Whenever I say, I'm sorry, she thinks
she's
I'm
always
calling
getting
her.
involved.
Stupid.
Yeah, Siri likes to invade.
Yeah, it must be my accent. But anyway, we are down to a few minutes, folks. He wants to get to his family because he has graciously spent so much time with us. I was getting a feeling. We've gone way over, though.
We have, and I will defer a question to session 2.
So, all kidding aside, Wes, I know you were keen about it. Would we have you back? I mean, seriously, yes, we would love to have you back on. And whenever you want to talk about a project or whatever, or you just say, it's a holiday. Let's see if those guys
Let's
down
just see
under
what these guys are up to.
Yeah.
Pants and tax situation is.
That's even better. Yeah, just not April 15th. It's not a fun day.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
I think ours is April 30th or so. It's right around that same time. Maybe it's April 15th. I should know.
Actually, I'll probably be flying over you if you're in Vancouver because I'm going to Alaska again in April of next year. I went this year. It was incredible. Changed my life.
Get up there. That sounds spectacular.
It was incredible. But you have some of that same scenery. But again, I'm sorry, Wes, not about me. We know that you have a project that's going to be coming out next year. We hope to be able to speak to you on that now. Do you have any other projects, filmography, TV, anything that we should keep an eye out for?
I think I got a Christmas movie that's coming out called When Christmas Was Young. And then I guess we keep our fingers crossed for a season 2 of the Imperfects. But yeah, I mean that's the main thing. That's the main thing to check out right now. That's like new and out there with me. That I'm like super stoked on how that's come together, and just like the creative team involved. We're just like the best people to work with.
And the Imperfects are on
Netflix.
That's on Netflix.
Okay, so folks, there it is, right there. That's the best thing that you can do is take a look at the program, and it is on Netflix. I know I'm going to check it out. I'm looking forward to it. And, here's the thing, Wes, and I say publicly, I'm buying your music. So you will know when I buy your music. So, but
I'll need to chat with you about the tax consequences of it. So we'll get into that.
All right. Ooh, talking the tax porn. Didn't think I was going to get any of that tonight. I tell my clients now when they're here, because I have a lot of collectibles in my office. Like, you can barely see a few. But now, if you look very carefully right there, that is a Hello Kitty telephone. But that's
I couldn't see it. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, well, it's because I'm blocking it most of the time. It really is. It's my daughter's old Hello Kitty telephone.
That's very cool.
And I have it because my daughters use it. But I have, like, the Porg is right above it, and the Game of Thrones stuff and whatever.
Yeah. I spotted the Game of Thrones thing right off the bat there.
Yeah, and actually, it's onto the side. You can see the Star Trek stuff, so it's disgusting. When my clients are here, I tell them, I point to all my collectibles. I said, well, if that's my entertainment, and I look at their documents, I guess that's my porn. So right now, that's why when you told me about the tax stuff, I'm like, ooh, tax porn. I know, I lost a 3-picture deal, and I even lost the upcoming ones. I'm sorry, Wes.
We're doing the best we can here, everyone. It's a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes. It was awesome. Wes, I thank you. I had a lot of fun. Very enlightening, learning quite a bit about you. And we still didn't even really get into some of your background. And I apologize for that. But it's the way the interview works, man.
Hey, man.
And hopefully we can...
We apply the Liam Neeson logic one more time here. You got to let it go where it's going to go.
And I thank you for that. We look forward to the opportunity. Michael, quick last thoughts, and we are out.
Yeah. We've got some more guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. I've got to look them up again. Next week, we have Jesse Arthur Carroll's going to talk to us. If you've been watching our Sunday night show about
Trekking Across the Universe
series, Trekking Across the Universe, he's been one of our guest hosts. So that's been kind of cool. In November,
November 7th, John Billingsley, you know him as Dr. Phlox from Enterprise, and so many other things. John Billingsley, this will be the 4th time he's on the program with us. And do we have any?
The 14th of November, Saul Rubinek.
Oh, yes.
From Warehouse 13 was in one of the pivotal episodes of Next Generation.
Wes, are you a Star Trek fan?
Yeah, big TNG fan.
Okay, Saul Rubinek is the one from The Most Toys, the one that was the collector.
Yeah.
He's going to be on the 14th.
Oh, that's too cool.
Okay, I'll get inside, Wes. You're a guest, but you are de facto family now. I know, sorry. But if you ever want to join us on any of our guests, you're more than welcome, Wes.
I'll remember that one. I could
seriously.
So I'll go out on this. This is the thing for me. All through my childhood, when I would get my hair cut, I would go in and I would ask for the Commander Data. And that was literally the haircut I wanted every time. I was obsessed. I always watched it with my parents. And so that guy's spent a whole episode working with spiners. That's very cool.
Wow. Yeah. So all kidding aside, Wes, anytime you want to join us, you're more than welcome, because I didn't realize, but sometimes our guests want to join us when we have other guests and vice versa. So you're more than welcome.
I'm a big old nerd, so I love that kind of stuff.
I thank you. You made my Monday for the holiday, and hopefully you take some of that vibe when you spend it with your family. But look, you said 7 minutes ago you had to go. So let's kill it. Wes, thank you. And we look forward to having the opportunity to spend some more time with you in the future. Thank you, young man, and
Absolutely.
wish the best for you. I can't wait to hear your music, and tax issues aside, I'm jumping in. So it's all good, my brother.
Have
I
a great
appreciate
night,
it.
guys. Yeah, live
Thank
long
you.
and prosper. Have
All
a great
right,
one.
we'll see you. Thanks,
Cheers.
Wes. All right, man. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he did. It was funny. I was getting the idea that it was time, but just as I was doing all that stuff, he sent us the message. I'm like, oh, a disturbance.
Yeah, there you go.
So that was real. Folks,
Yeah.
wow. Michael, thank you for being able to arrange that. And this one worked out. I was not expecting to have an interview today, and it was absolutely fun. I thank everyone that joined us. And no, I'm not going to stand up because I love my audience. And I don't want you. I want you guys to return. But yeah, actually, I do want to forgive me for undressing on air, but I did receive this T-shirt from my clients who went to Hawaii. I was like, well, you could have invited me to Hawaii, but that's neither here nor there. I like it. Look at that. I really do like this T-shirt. It is cool. And it doesn't say Hawaii on it anywhere, but it has the symbolism. It is really, really nice. And I'm not a baby blue color, but it is really cool. I like it. So Twitch is weirding out on me. All right, Ross, thank you. And, Ross, we need to have you on, buddy. Got to talk about some of the stuff you've done. So really, really good. Mike, Mr. Parent, if you're still on with us, yeah, you could reach out to us and send us a message. We'd love to have you on, and you can talk about some of the stuff that you do. We were checking out the website while we were on air. So anytime. Thank you. Michael, anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay, folks, on Tuesday night on our Blog Talk Radio channel, everything can be found on ndbmedia.net. Here's the link. On Tuesday night, Fandom Access at 7 p.m. On Wednesday night, this Wednesday, Casey Shapiro and the Rock and Roll Shrink will be on at 8 p.m. Pacific time on the digital radio of NDB Media. On Thursday, we have Travel Itch Radio, which is on at 5 p.m. Pacific time on the digital radio portion. We have Almighty Sports Show on Tuesday on this channel on the video portion. And on Saturday, we have Sports Talk with the Guys on the video portion of NDB Media at 6 a.m. Pacific time. And on Sunday, Casey Shapiro has The Walking Dead final season. Starts at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on the digital radio. And at 7:30 p.m., we have our blistering Trekking Across the Universe, where we cover Game of Thrones, The House of the Dragon, Cassian Andor. Yes. Star Wars Andor. Thank you for that. We are discussing The Power of the Rings from Lord of the Rings and Star Trek Lower Decks. And we're probably going to be looking to add a series or two. So we have a few more comments. Let me see. No, thank you. Thank you, Mike, for spending some time with us. Please reach out to us, Mike. Would love to have that. And we want to see the Tutu. No, it's Tatu trekking across the universe. No, that's why I just showed the T-shirt. It's not even an issue of dignity, folks. It's an issue of I don't want to lose the audience. Right, Michael? It's not good. It's just a pair of swim trunks, folks. That's all. That's all it is.
Well, he's thinking Hawaii. That's why.
No, I don't want to have that straw sash stuff. I don't have the body for that, dude. I do not. Oh, no. It's okay, but yeah, there the numbers just went down. You see all the viewers. Oh, my God. All right, we're done. Okay, Michael.
At least they can't take the likes away.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Oh, don't say that. They probably can take the likes away. So.
Oh, that's right. They can, can't they?
You know what? We're going to save the link. If Mike doesn't reach out to us, we're going to be stalkers. We'll reach out to him and see if he would like to be on our program. We are worldwide. It's the internet. So, a lot of good stuff, folks. Thank you. Had a blast. What, Casey? I gave you play tonight. Or if you're warning me, hey, Don't show it.
Or
yeah.
he.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But folks, seriously, I thank you for catching that when I said bass. But I was oh, your shorts. Yeah, okay. I love you guys. I do. It's not that painful love either. So it's all good. All right, Michael, what else?
No, that's it.
All right, folks. Thank you. Seriously. Thanks for spending your time with us on this holiday. We will be back throughout the week. And we have a big guest this Monday coming up, Jesse, who's on our Sunday night program. And it's really cool. He's been a lot of fun. And who knows? Maybe Wes will want to talk about the power of the rings. Who knows? We might reach out to him and see if he wants to join our Sunday night program since he's watching Power of the Rings. But beyond that, thank you. This was a lot of fun. I am grateful. And I got to run inside and go and get my wallet so I can go and buy his music. I like it. It's good stuff. I'm not a country guy, but I like his music. It's really good stuff. All right.
Okay.
I guess we'll see you guys on the other side. Michael, take us away.
See everyone and enjoy and let's see. And watch us on Trekking Across the Universe. Later.
Peace!